Yeah, what's up? All right, gentlemen, let's work. I was like debating back and forth if I wanted to jump on the stream tonight because this is over an hour later than I normally start, but it's a Friday night. I'm in a good mood after seeing Revenge of the Sith. That was a top 3 movie theater experience I have ever had in my life. I would say that, actually. Probably the only one that I would say rivaled it for me would be... I really enjoyed seeing Joker in theaters. That was solid. That was very, very solid. Okay, I got my editing stuff ready to go. I'm going to review it, but you're going to have to bear with me because I got a couple things to do before we get there. A couple things to catch up on, messages and stuff. I wanted to hear how this editor did this. I've been posting in this chat about restoring this line in Andor Season 1, and I found an interview where the actress...
Fight the Empire!
Fuck the Empire.
Fuck the Empire?
There was a whole debate about whether this is acceptable for Star Wars. Andor, yeah, I think it fits in with Andor, and I thought it was just a really bad dub over to say fight. It's odd that you're gonna show an attempted rape scene, but then you can't say the F word. So I actually would be pro reintroducing this. I think it's a very realistic thing for Marva to say. This guy, I think he's the author of the thread. No, this is a different guy. I think this explanation is exactly mirrors my thoughts. And he posted an edit, and I wanted to see how it works.
But I'll tell you this. If I could do it again, I'd wake up early and be fighting these bastards from the start. Fight the Empire!
There you go. That's pretty good. He did like a little distortion on it. That's pretty smooth. Dude, this speech is so good. I'm not even like an Andor simp. I think the dialogue in Andor is like 10 out of 10 level. But man, this is a powerful scene. Really, really incredible writing all around this, and I think that caps it off very well. What's up? We got some other night owls in the chat. Melon Playground Guy. I haven't met you before. I agree with your statement, though. What's up, Ty TO2? Yeah, it isn't character for her. Like, she recorded this, right before she died. And, yeah, no mincing words. This is what I would expect, a crotchety woman who's looking back on her life and kind of wishing she did more, rather than just like coast and live selfishly at times. That emotion pours out in this speech, and I think that is a really good cap off. Oh, turn it off. I gotta throw this man my support. I'll do it later. I want to write something nicer back to this, actually. Motion pours out in this speech. Turn that sound off. Okay. Alright. Before I edit, you gotta give me a second, because my guild is gonna get mad at me. Give me like 2 minutes to do this little Star Wars setup, and then I'll start editing. I'll go over in my edit. I'm so happy with a lot of what I did. I did work since I streamed 2 days ago. Yesterday? When did I stream? 2 days. Was it one? What freaking day was this? April 23rd. Yeah, it's 2 days ago. That was my longest stream ever. That one killed me. This edit I did in here with the new alien voices, absolutely love it. It has changing the dialogue of these guys to just be like more intense. Completely changing this, getting the Ithorian noises. I'll give you a spoiler. I absolutely love... I'll play it in full later. But I redid all of the sound effects for the Ithorian, like, choking and getting hung. It sounds so much more intense. Like, you can see all the stuff I put on here. Because he's got, like, this... In the show, he's got this really wimpy baby voice. And it sounds like a human breathing. I get it was trying to, like, translate his Ithorian voice to basic, which I said in the last stream. I really liked that device. At least that, you know, they tried to make an alien language here, and I think that's like good for a mayor. It fit his character. If I didn't need to change all his dialogue, I probably would have just like deepened his voice a little bit. But I enjoy having the Ithorian voice language in there just as much. But in this section, when he's like breathing in panic, and it does it in the human voice, I thought it sounded really odd to me. So, especially since I already reprogrammed all his other voice lines to be a deep Ithorian. When it then went to his little whimper, it sounded really odd. So, I'll preview this in a minute. Super happy with this whole thing, though. I finished that other conversation, too. And then... Alright. Now is where you gotta bear with me for 3 minutes. Does anyone here play this game? This game is just like a little comfort zone thing for me. I've had this account for, goodness, when did this game come out? 2016? I probably started playing like a year in, on and off a lot. It's a mobile game at the end of the day, but I've gotten some good enjoyment out of it, to be honest. So give me like 3 minutes while I advertise this game, and then I'll get to editing. I don't mean to lead you astray with title or anything here. I have a guild and they're relying on me. Farming up some Echo right now. Almost got Anakin's 5-0 first team up and running, pretty strong. This game actually looks really good on PC instead of the phone. They like way enhance the textures. Character models actually don't look, for a mobile game, they look, a lot of them look pretty good. There we go. Nice. Which one do I want to boost? This one already sucks. As well. Oh, great. Can you make it better? There we go. I'll take it. Okay, and then my guild activities. Okay, what do we got? Alright, yeah. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. I'm almost done, I promise. That's wrong. I gotta set 3 teams. Let's throw the resistance on D. Not R2. 2. One more team. Who can I give you? I'll give you my Jedi Rabbit. Shoot! Did I mess that up? I meant to have Ezra on my Phoenix team. Sorry, squad. Oops. Put some old Ben in there. That's not good. Does that get me? There we go. 90. Alright, I'm good. I've done my duty. Alright, thank you for bearing with me. Alright, to the edit. What were we working on? I think we started on this conversation. We spent a lot of time here, so I did finish everything in this. Super happy with it. Thank you to Goob, who was helping me write some of these subtitles. Coming out with new dialogue here that would justify my new plot line. So all the alien voices are done. Room noise is done. Yep. Perfect. Super happy with that. And then I finished the VFX for the Cobb Vanth. I always want to call him what's his name? I always want to call him Cobb Vance. It's Vantha, isn't it? It's TH. So yeah, we had discussed this on the last stream quite a bit with some of the bugs that existed in this realm. Yeah, a few VFX mistakes here. So I touched it up by throwing in some. That looks bad because I have it in 1/8, but throwing that in and adding some more blaster effects. So now we get. Now it looks like in between there and there. Where's the frames? Yeah, so now it looks like in the previous shot that he shoots already. Why didn't I just play it? Just describe it instead of just hitting play. What are you rendering?
Concerned? If you gentlemen load up your wares and head back to where you came, we can chalk this one up to you guys reading the map wrong.
Let's fix the resolution.
Think it through.
See that? I think I covered up like all the mistakes that I found in there before, and I make the action happen fast enough where you can't notice the other stuff, like this guy dying before he gets shot. Just by speeding up the actions, your brain registers 1, 2, 3 shots now, since I added all 3, and then you just get a quick muzzle flash of one of them, and it looks like Cobb is just really fast on the draw, which is an awesome setup for the Cad Bane standoff, where a first-time viewer, I think, would expect him to win, and then he doesn't, and that helps build up Cad Bane a little bit as well. So super happy with all that. I've showed that before. I did another pass on the combat scenes, the whole Battle of Tatooine. Man, I'm happy with it. I've always thought this was like one of the poorest choreographed sections in all of Disney Star Wars, was this final episode, episode 7 of Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, very snappy. Very snappy. So, is it perfect? No, if it was perfect, I wouldn't have to do any fixes on it. But I can tell you the snappy, quick quickness of it, it's better than what's in the show, in my opinion, where it's just unbelievably slow and the stunt actors are moving at the wrong time. The blaster bolts hit the wrong parts of their bodies. Cobb's blaster doesn't light up enough times. He doesn't shoot enough blaster bolts, so yeah, it's a little fast and hard to follow, I guess. I don't think so. It gets the point across. Quick draw, pop, pop, pop. Deadly accuracy. I don't think that scene necessarily needs more. Would I have done another take on set if I could start from scratch? Yeah, sure. But here I am sitting in a basement, not on set in Tunisia. So I plugged in the VFX to recolor all of the bike scenes. Previously, I guess I had just cropped these to not show them. But a wonderful gentleman, I can't remember his name. He partnered with Kai Patterson on their Boba Fett edit, and he did the VFX to change the colors. So I've integrated his stuff in there, so all the speeder bikes are just the muted gray. I didn't like the bright colors. I just thought that was a poor style design. And then I changed a lot of this fight. I fixed kind of all the shoulder problems we were having last time. It's so much more intense. Like, you see all these different cuts, and my soundtrack's not showing. All these different cuts and stuff I've done. I'm pretty happy. I still need to like hit play from basically here and watch. This battle is so long. I need to hit play from like right here, 48, and watch all the way through the end, all the way to 118. I mean, this is a 35-minute battle, and I've worked through it so many different times already. But now that I have what I consider to be a pretty close to a final cut, I need to just sit down and rewatch the entire thing start to finish to make sure I like the pacing and the cuts I made. Nothing stands out as weird. So I changed a lot of the cuts just where they were getting pummeled down here, Boba and Din. It was very, very poorly directed. I covered that a lot, but I'm very happy with the edits I made to this. Combat, as George Lucas said, faster, more intense. That's my goal with this battle. There's so much slow motion in this battle, and even stuff like this. So right here, they do this, and then you get this like slow motion scene of Chrysanthemum Antonin just like lumbering over, and I hate when the action of the battle just like freezes for so long to get the reaction shots, and then you like cut back to Boba and he's like, Chrysanthemum. So I keep it rolling with everything. This scene right here, I just put a speed up on it for some reason. So this is in 100% speed, and then when it makes the cut from the close-up to this one, it goes in slow motion here, and he's like flying through the air super slow. But then Chrysanthemum is moving in normal speed and shoots him, and you get this really weird jerky moment. Watch. Okay, this is intense blaster shot there, right in the crotch too. That's just dirty. It just looked really weird when it was like slow motion or not. I think it looks better when it's not slow motion. I mean, come on, doesn't that look normal? Imagine this is 2 times speed. Imagine that throw taking twice as long, but then the blaster shot has the same exact amount of frames. That was weird. Changed how many times Chrysanthemum gets shot, because he gets shot like directly in the chest, and it doesn't even phase him, doesn't scorch his hair, nothing. It just like hits him square in the flesh, and they didn't do any VFX on it. He takes like 4 blaster bolts, and I didn't know Wookiees. I could definitely see a Wookiee like eating a blaster shot or 5, but I would expect their hair to be singed, there to be like those little scorch marks and kind of a circle thing. None of that. He like barely even twitches. They're just like bouncing off him almost like he has Beskar armor on. So I rechanged different shot of a sniper just shooting him once now. Used a sniper shot from something else. Now it just hits him that one time. And it kind of hits him like here in the bandolier, so you can kind of say, okay, it shrugged it off a little bit, and he's already like been fighting forever and was injured against the Trandoshans. In my previous cut, I had all of this. I didn't include any of this. I used to cut right from here to the droids coming in. But then I realized when they run away, you see the mods running, and I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't show how they got back. Now they've teleported from where they were previously, and now they teleported there. So that was just previous oversight on mine, and then I actually really wanted this this scene where Boba goes out and pulls Chrysanthemum Antonin back because of a later plot line that I think is going to hit so much harder because I included this. And I want to spoil it for you here, what I do. I've talked about it before. But later in the film, Chrysanthemum betrays Boba. Chrysanthemum is not, if you've read the comics, he's not a good Wookiee. He's not a loyal Wookiee. He's a very violent dirtbag type of Wookiee. Maybe I missed like the newest comics that I read, like his when was that, like 2016, 17, 18, some of the stuff he was in. I don't know if he softened up in the comics. Does anybody know? But to me, when I watched Book of Boba Fett after watching his original comics, reading those rather, I was like, why is he like such a passive wimp? So Chrysanthemum is going to betray Boba to the Hutts later on. And since I've rearranged stuff, we're going to have that, the scene where Chrysanthemum attacks Boba. That's going to be the moment. I think it'll work out really well. And since you have this like more touching moment of Boba showing him loyalty earlier, I think it'll hit harder, the betrayal against Boba. And I need that to explain why Boba doesn't get to Mandalore just in time. He'll arrive, but he will be delayed by the Hutts and the assassination attempts on his life. There will be multiple. Okay, so lots of scene edits through here. Again, I just need one more pass through all the combat. I got rid of a lot of the slow motion on the Rancor. Some of it I thought looked really bad and kind of made Boba look a little like a bumbling doofus. I know, I'm trying to show you one that I got rid of. Wherever this droid thing shoots the Rancor in the chest, it has this like really slow motion, like falls backwards like 8 steps and then crashes into the wall. But it's odd because it's not like the scene is supposed to be slow motion. It's just like the CGI'd Rancor just moves in slow motion, but it looked really weird, so I sped up a lot of stuff like that. This one, you've got this long, drawn-out slow motion of Boba falling and hitting the ground. I changed the timing and cuts around how Cad blasts the fire at the Rancor. There was some bad VFX stuff in there where like the fire was so... It was like you could see a huge gap between the fire and the Rancor, and it's like... Okay, to scare it that much to run away, I feel like it would kind of have to hit him in the face a little bit. So I think I fixed that up with some crops and cuts. Remove some more slow motion. I think I might even show this on my last stream, but I love how I did the cuts I made to make this moment more intense. Watch how smooth Boba moves now.
There's no shame in it.
So all I did was, remove a few dead frames. I actually reorganized a couple of the attack moves, and I think that plays so well compared to the show, which has these like slow motion moments, and it didn't feel intense or like a real fight to me. So super happy with that. And then we cut from there and then get to this. I'll show you this because I do like it.
This is a pullback from Mos Espa. I shall be arriving here in Mos Eisley shortly, so that we may disembark. Chai kun kuti kichai ichiyobanaga. Just say Sigvosh. Our deal was that Tatooine was going to be a hospitable place to do business. Half of my men were either shot or eaten by a rancor. Dodge!
Come on, doesn't that Ithorian death sound so good now? Adding those screams, the deepness of the crack, changing his voice there. It's sick. So there we go. Super happy with how that sounded. I maybe turn down these alien voices a little bit, balance some of the room noise. I'll do a final sound pass on everything, but I think everything is pretty close to working there. So that covers everything from my last stream. And then I was just getting to this moment earlier. So from here on, this is stuff I've never really played through on stream. I've never played this whole sequence here. It's been a while since, it's probably been a year since I even worked through this segment. Look how much work I already did on it. Because I've talked about it before, but this is where Bo-Katan has her solo journey. The OG Mandalorian beast hunt. No Raptor Kid plot. This is just a hunt where Bo-Katan proves her worth to the clan, shows what she can do, and I think it helps generate that belief. And Din will come in at the very end. He's not part of this episode at all. This arc of her storyline. So I do need to start here and touch up some of the audio. I got to re-record some stuff for Din right now. So let's watch this scene, and I'll tell you what I intend to fix. Is this? Did I replace this already? Yeah, okay. I replaced the VFX for those bikes. Cool. Okay, so normal transition, pans up, and here we go. Everything here, you can see there is no original sound. Everything you're going to hear, I had to make from scratch. Using, I didn't, program the sound effects myself, but there's 23 layers of audio where it's so hard to get to the right thing around there, you see. Yeah, no original sound from the show. I had to rebuild every single thing from nothing.
Sorry, I can't join you just yet. The Hutt's are already showing interest in my territory.
Oh, well, that one was glitched. I thought I fixed that already. This thing went out of control for some reason.
Join you just yet. The Hutt's are already showing interest in my territory, but I'll be there when you need me.
Thank you, Boba. I'll send you a ping when our fleet is en route to Mandalore.
For NTA, Vod.
Sayin Fet Ian, Vod. Good luck with the Hutts. R5, set course back to the covert on Ravaran. Tell the armorer my mission is complete. And check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Ossus.
A little bit of sound work that still needs to be done there, but first scene created from scratch, all new dialogue, everything. It's getting there. Pretty happy with it overall. If anybody has suggestions, would love to hear them. Sukui, what's up, Shoya? I'm just about to. If you remember, what was? I was just about to pull up my other stream and find this, but if you remember, what did you suggest to replace this with?
Scene 50 in wood.
You suggested something that I really liked, and I was gonna go find it in the other stream we did, but if you remember, type it in the chat for me, and I'll do it. I need to also re-record Din's line at the end because previously I had the Academy on Ossus. I have since then moved it to Yavin 4. So I need to re-record that. And then the audio transition was the volume balance was really bad, but I do a volume balance test at the very end. Probably start with that, might help just to begin with. Which one is this? Is this the... There's the Starfighter ambient. I thought that was a little loud too. There you go. That'll work. Okay, so the subtitles look different too. I need to just redo the subtitles. Alright, yeah, Ty says you're moving the tussle in the palace until later. Yep, we're gonna... What the heck? Messing with my chair up. Yeah, so basically... I'm trying to see, when does my next Boba scene come in? It's gonna be a while before we see him. I need to move this one to a different time. Yeah, I need to like completely. A lot of my Boba scenes are like off to the side, like they're not. Is this one? Or is this my Pershing? Yeah. So I've got a lot of made scenes off to the side where I'm trying to figure out where exactly to place them. Because I don't yet know how I want to balance the ABC plot I'm running. So I need to figure out where to like plug and play these Boba scenes to show why he's delayed from getting to Mandalore. He doesn't show up when Din needs him right away. So I've got this scene to work with still. I haven't used this one yet. Is this where the Hutt's rolling? This is one attempt on his life. So I'm going to have like these two assassination attempts. He's going to have this like mystery one. And then he's going to find, you know, the guy like rats out in Boba's cellar. He's going to say, in the show, he says like, oh, the mayor sent me. Well, the mayor's dead in mine. So I'm going to re-record that. And he's going to be like, the Hutt sent me. And that's going to like, oh shoot, Boba's got a problem here. And then you've got the other scene at Garza's where the twin Hutts roll up. And Chrysanthemum, like, his introduction works so well where he's, like, near Boba. And then he, like, walks over next to them. And so that's going to be, like, the moment where it's going to hit, like, okay. To Chrysanthemum, yeah, my contract to you is over. I am a gun for hire at the end of the day. I'm totally fine with killing my former employer because you now have a bounty against you from the Hutts, essentially. So that's where that betrayal is going to occur. I might get the Boba voice actor again to record like an insulting line towards Chrysanthemum when that happens, since there should be a little more familiarity with him than in the show. So I think that'll work. And then after that is, yeah, that's, you know, Boba's going to be like about to go to Mandalore, and then Chrysanthemum will do the attack on his palace. He gets locked up. Then I get one more scene with the Hutts, which is this one. So they're going to roll in. This is after Chrysanthemum is captured. You can see I believe in this one, everything's all jacked up, but I don't have like the chrysanthemum thing in there. So I don't think I'm planning to have Boba give chrysanthemum back to the Hutts. I think I might just leave it like this, and chrysanthemum's in Boba's prison. I don't see a need for chrysanthemum to do this, to be in this scene anymore, at least with my story. So this is where the Hutts are gonna be like, hey, stay out of Mandalore. You know, your empire is already falling apart. If you go play Mandalorian somewhere else instead of watching over your syndicate, you know, we're going to take everything you have. And so you're going to get this character moment where you feel like Boba's not going to make it to Mandalore. He's had 2 attempts on his life. He's warned by the Hutts, hey, if you go, you know, we're going to come after you. And then you'll think he's just not going to show up, and then he will. He'll have made that choice. You'll see that at the end. He'll be there at the ceremony on Mandalore at the end. So excited to deliver on that. Still a lot of work with the scene placements to do here. I got to do a whole pass on my Plaisir 15 storyline, but I'm excited because this is stuff I haven't worked on it for a while. This Tatooine segment took so long to get right, and I finally just got there where it's like, yes, I feel like I got the scene order I wanted, the cuts I wanted, the combat edits I wanted. I'm probably like 90% happy with Tatooine now, and I'll do the other 10% when I start watching things in full. So we're ready to transition. We are ready to transition to the next act. Yeah, excited to get to that. We got my suggestion from last time was to change Scene Vatine to Keeper Jai. I would need to look at what's the translation of that. I'm not fluent with those specific words. So it'd be Kai Pajai Vod? Kai Parjai? What does it mean? Voice actor, it is not Shapeshifter VA. It's a special guest. It's the same one who did these lines already. The Boba lines here, and then the Boba lines in my palace scene earlier. So I think it works pretty well. Especially, it's easier to do Boba when he's in a mask and you have the voice distortion to do. Yeah. Tamora's got such a unique voice. He is, I think, one of the hardest voices to replicate for voice actors. Shapeshifter VA, I am not familiar with. If you got a link, I could reach out if I need more. But what's up, Punklahoma Patali Palindrome? Okay, Joya. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna find out what this means. Oh, I always... Is this one? So what did you say? Ki? How do you pronounce K-I-H? Is it Ki? Oh, Ki. Okay. Keeparjai. Keeparjai. No problem. Don't mention it. Okay. Yeah, that I can do that. Keeparjai. Keeparjai Vod. Keeparjai Vod. I might be able to lead the VOD for my last one because I liked the delivery of that. Ragnar Vizsla. I probably don't need his voice model anymore.
With every sunrise, nature...
Don't think he talks again, does he? Where's Din?
Keep
Oh boy, what the heck? That sounded horrible. Keep Harjai. Sometimes you gotta trick 11 Labs.
That's sant.
Oh, that's why. That's...
Keep Harjai
he's gonna want to say Yai, and I... Is it Yai or Jai? What kind of J is this in this? It would be Jai, right? I think Mandalorians use Ja. Why is this... All my settings got messed up.
Keep Harjai
Almost.
Keep Harjai
Not par. Maybe he just wants to say par.
Keep Harjai
Kind of need to get it like a vod.
Keep Harjai Vod.
He keeps wanting to say Yai.
Keep Harjai Vod.
Let's just try this word.
Keep Harjai. Keep Harjai.
It's a little mumbly.
Keep Harjai.
That sounded pretty good. Let's throw that in there. And I think I can just leave the VOD from my last one, I believe. If you haven't seen Revenge of the Sith in theaters, I do recommend it. I just came back. Just absolutely incredible. I never got to see it the first time around. Too young. Parents wouldn't let me. Too violent. So this was the first time I saw it ever in theaters. Other than the Clone Wars, that was the first time I had ever seen a George Lucas Star Wars film in theaters, which is wild. Yeah, I was out on a work trip for like the whole week when Episode 1 was re-showing in theaters, so I didn't get to see that. But yeah, just incredible experience. It sounds corny. There was a couple moments where I felt emotional during that movie. The first one was the instant the words "a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away" popped up. Man, it took me right back to my childhood, the love I have for these films and this franchise. Just seeing those words on the screen, knowing what I was going to watch was the ultimate vision of George Lucas for that film. Very special to see that. What was the other moment? I mean, there was just like random moments in the movie where it got me different this time. Seeing it on the big screen, you pick up so much different on the sound effects. It's cool. Keep on a jive, Vod. What did I have in here? In a small room? Oh no, I missed that. Small room. I gotta like remake the sound effects on there. That's odd. In a small room. What else do I have? Small dryer, is that it? Volume way down.
Keep Harjai Vod.
Felt a little quiet. Did I have a pitch shift on this? It sounded deeper there too. 99.
Vod.
Keep Harjai Vod.
A little quieter. Give me a fade in. A fade out.
A. Vod.
Keep Harjai Vod. Good luck with the huts.
There you go. Think that works. So what is the exact translation I want to do for this? Don't mention it, brother. Well, shoot. Shoya, after I record that, why is that appropriate? Because he's like Boba is saying I owe you a debt, to meaning like I will be there on Mandalore. So I don't really want him to dismiss that, because like that's the whole reason he went to Mandalore. Now that's got me thinking, now that I'm looking at the script. So like a don't mention it, I think, is like too casual. See what I'm saying? What's another phrase that would be like appropriate there? I'll let you mull that over as I catch up on chat. Oh, you got a bunch in there about this already. Keep on a jive. VOD means small... small victories? Really? Oh, okay. Maybe disregard everything I said. This had a different... This said don't mention it. Oh, I mean, it's right there. I'm just blind. Or I'm blind or a just absolute idiot. We'll go with the first one. I'm blind. I can't see. Trying to think. I mean, would it make I owe you a debt, brother. Small victories, brother. Does that even make sense? Is there a different like phrase? Because this has like a few different meanings. I mean, that's the literal translation there. Small victories. Does that point to like, yeah, we're building towards something bigger? Maybe do regard what I said before. If you have another idea. Or how I would translate that to basic, if that phrase still works, you think? What would be a good subtitle for that? Keyboard jive VOD means, yeah, small victory is a common response to saying Vore, okay, which means... See, if I just read the chat, which means thanks, but also means I accept a debt. So it's like, okay. Disregard everything I said. It means I accepted that, so it's like him saying him helping was a victory, no debt. Scene 15 isn't really used as a response to thank you. It's a concept about becoming a Mandalorian as a blank slate. Means white snow-covered fields. Okay. Yeah, okay. You just said you'll think about that. Yeah. What's in response to this? How would a basic human translate that to where you... I see what you're saying. Yeah, like I accept a debt. This is a win. Like we're building towards something. I think that works. I just need a clean basic translation to get the message across to the audience. If you could brainstorm that while I catch up on chat. Thank you so much. So far, Andor Season 2 is like Andor Season 1. Slow, LMAO. Yeah, I think if you had problems with Season 1, like if you thought it was slow, boring show, Season 2 doesn't do anything to change that. I say it feels exactly like Season 1, except I would say these first 3 episodes were... I didn't think they were bad. I thought they were the weakest arc of Andor so far. I really liked the Luthen and Mon Mothma stuff. I did think it dragged on a little bit too long in Chandrila. Did not like the Yavin subplot very much. That dragged on way too much too. I thought those 3 episodes could have been 2 episodes. And I don't think you would have missed what Gilroy was trying to communicate with them. I feel like he kind of got locked in, okay, I got this massive budget. They agree to the plan of 3 episodes per arc. I get 4 arcs. Yeah, I feel like he kind of got locked into that and just had to fill time a little bit. So I wouldn't say it was the strongest arc of Andor. And if you didn't like Season 1... you doubly won't like this initial arc. Though from everything I've seen from all the non-spoiler reviews, it looks like it builds and builds and builds. Most people have been saying the 3rd arc is their favorite. So I'm invested though. I'm the more I've mulled on the 3 episodes, the more I liked them. I was initially even more put off by them. But I've grown fonder as I've reflected on them, actually. But yeah, it does nothing to, if you didn't like season 1, this does nothing to change your mind on it. Shapeshifter does some good stuff on here on YouTube. He does a really good Temuera Morrison impression. Oh, cool. Let's see if I can reach out. It is Jai saying Yai is an accent. You can try to Jai. Yeah, got that fixed. Wife and I saw... Oh, cool, man. You watched it too? Cried at Order 66, so then you started tearing out. Going again next week. I love the scene after Mace is killed of Anakin and Palpatine, now in full Emperor mode in his office. What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy? Seeing Anakin just talking with the Emperor from Return of the Jedi has such an OT vibe. Understated scene, yeah. Most people don't even notice. It's the only time you see a normal Anakin with a deformed Emperor. Yeah, very, very good points all around on that. I think what stood out to me this time, just how absolutely perfect the first 10 minutes of that film are. From the camera angles of the space battle choreography, just to the action pieces, to the quips and the dialogue, just the scale of that battle, the VFX and the CGI, that beats out, no kidding. It's still beating stuff that comes out today, 20 years later. The CGI of those capital ships and the scale of that battle is, my goodness. I mean, I would say that was better than any Disney Star Wars space fight we've gotten. The closest I would say to even feeling close to that epic would be the Rogue One battle over Scarif. I thought that was really, really well done. Disney, it's odd. They haven't even tried to tackle a space battle on that grand scale. So I don't want to critique something they haven't even tried. I will critique their lack of trying. Okay, if you want to say the episode 9 thing, that wasn't even a real battle in my opinion. It was just like, okay, yeah, it was cool when the ships show up. It's nice seeing like all the ship models there together. Though I wouldn't say it was like a well-directed piece of space battle. It was just very, very cookie cutter. All the starfighters come in, pew pew pew, blow up this part. The camera angles were very, very static. What I watched today in theaters, the angles and the cinematography of that entire battle was just genuinely magnificent. Even like the crash landing in the hangar, it's just so smooth with the choreography transition, cutting back and forth between R2. I will say, throughout the entire movie, now that I've been in the fan editing world and watched a lot of other people's re-edits of that film, of course there's still beauty to the original that George made. I really missed the deleted scenes. I think they helped the pacing so much. There was a few moments where the pacing, I think, jumped a little fast in that film, and I get it. Like it's a long movie to begin with, and George was making cuts that were hard for him to make to keep a standard runtime. I like it better with the deleted scenes. That's just me. I miss the scene of Padme in Palpatine's office. Even some of like the finishing the VFX of Grievous killing Shaak Ti, them like walking through the gas tunnels underneath and the capital ship. I think that builds out the pacing a lot. Did miss those. I think they were great scenes. I understand why George cut them, because it wasn't stuff that was essential to the plot, and he was worried about runtime. Did miss him though. I will say that. Other moments, man, Obi-Wan, his whole performance there, just phenomenal acting by Ewan McGregor. That really stood out to me tonight too. It was just a wonderful movie by him all around. I missed the extended. This is I don't think they ever filmed this, did they? The extended conversation with Obi-Wan and Padme before he goes to Mustafar. It's really, really good in the book. There's a lot more to it, and then the movie version just feels like an abridged version now after seeing that. yeah, just had a wonderful time tonight with that film. In basic, for Keeper Jai, you could say something like, it was a small price to pay, or a small price. Going for another Mandoa phrase, Jorsokan Kondo Atome. A line from Vodeon just means, we shall bear this weight together. Ooh, I kind of like that. That actually might work better. Because he's saying, I owe you a debt, and Din's kind of like deflecting a little bit and like, yeah, you do, but we're going to bear this debt together. This is for the good of both of us. And I can put it in quotes, since it's, basically a hymn. Hymn, that's hymn with an Hymn is what I'm saying. I'm going to do it. I think that's perfect. Jorso kando atome odeon. Shoya, do you like when it goes, we the wrath of Coruscant? You probably like the Mandayaim better, right? We the wrath of Mandalore. Or do you like the clone version? The clones adapted it with their new home world. Alright, not really, I guess not really home world, but where they fought out of what they were defending. Jorso Ron. Oh yeah, did I say Jorso Khan? Same, we watched Doug Nuts Extended last year for my wife's first time watching the movie after watching the Clone Wars. The deleted scenes do really help. Yeah, with the pacing for sure. Another thing in the screenplay is Yoda mentions how they need to make her look still pregnant. Yep, at the funeral. I was thinking that today because I watched it with my cousin, and he didn't know that, so I got to tell him that piece of trivia after. He's like, oh, cool. They kept the shot, but not the line. Yeah, yeah, I don't know why you would cut that line. Maybe George wanted it to be, like, just understood rather than blatantly stated. I think a lot of people gloss over that fact, though. Yeah, we the wrath of Mandalore. I also, in the movie, I missed the extended scene with Yoda talking to Qui-Gon Jinn. I wish they would have left that in, too. I think that would have been really cool. I think my favorite Revenge of the Sith edit is the one from Delphius. I'm trying to pull it up. It's one of the Clone Wars back and forth ones, but I think it also applies some really good edits. It's based on HAL 9000s.
Fine.
I can't remember if all the deleted scenes, how many are back in here. I think most of them are. I know the meeting, was it the meeting of the 3000? Is that what that's called? Yeah, there. I just saw it. This scene right here. Oh no, this is a different deleted scene. Yeah, this one I think is good too. Gives Padme a lot more agency, and I think it helps build the divide between her and Anakin later. Because without these scenes, she's having the it extends upon where she says, like, are you ever afraid we're on the wrong side? And having her have these conversations, like, starting to realize the Republic is corrupt, and, like, they're trying to take a stand, and Palpatine just blows them off, really. And she starts to feel like, okay, the Senate, like, really doesn't have control. This dude is running everything. Yeah, the meeting. Is it the meeting of the 3000, 5000? I can't remember what that scene's called. What else? Man, the Plagueis scene got me at the movies too. I just, like, saw it in a new light tonight. What I mean by that is, when I watched it tonight, I can't find it anymore. I really felt Anakin more in it. I found it to be, like, very believable how he didn't really see through what Palpatine was actually saying. I really got the sense that Anakin was hearing what he wanted to hear and just totally missing the bigger picture, because he's like so hyper focused on fixing his problems right now. If he was in tune with the Force and not thinking so selfishly, and he, as Yoda told him, was trying to let go of everything he feared to lose, he would have seen right through that, I think. But since he was selfishly thinking in that moment, yeah, that got me different. I'm trying to see if this edit includes any of the deleted scenes or not. Oh well, I think the quality is looks like it's in 720p. Heck. How did Windows freeze from clicking over one little tab? You're gonna hit me with a not responding for trying to see the resolution? That's what a 4090 and 4900K get you, folks. You can't even run Windows. Right, anyways, I could go on about Revenge of the Sith all night. I gotta work. It's a shame they cut this, removes the Padme stuff, cut Mon Mothma entirely. Yeah, I thought those bailed just shows. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that actually stuck out as weird to me tonight too. When I watched it, I was like, huh, there was no real connection for why Bail went there. He wasn't. Was he only in like one other scene talking to Anakin now? And then it's just like, well, why is he at the Jedi Temple? And he gets there from conversations and deleted scenes. Okay, what was I doing? I'm lost in the sauce. Okay, I'm re-recording Jorsoran Kondoatome. Yes, this is what I was attempting to do. I already typed it in there. All right. It's one of those nights.
Jorsoran Kondoatome.
He's trying to... Be Jorsoran Kondoatome. Jorsoran Kondoatome.
Jorsoran Kondoatome.
I feel like you could talk a little slow. I like the delivery there, but I think I want it slower.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Jorsoran Kondoatome.
Good. Okay, pronunciation.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Jorsoran Kondoatome.
Let's try that one.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Jorsoran Kondoatome. Jorsoran Kondoatome.
That sounds pretty good. That crashed my whole file explorer. If I can still get the VOD in there. Oh, I gotta do all those dang settings again.
VOD.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. VOD.
The VOD doesn't really fit there anymore. I think it's a little bit fast too.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Good luck with the huts.
Maybe 1% more slower. Gotta change the subtitles.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Good luck with the huts.
I don't really like the delivery on that. I might re-record that one now.
VOD.
Jorsoran Kondoatome. Good luck with the huts.
That's not bad.
Jorsor.
Okay, get my subtitles in there. Grievous's theme went so hard in theaters. Whoo, it's cooking. Next time you'll know better than to switch a tab. Yeah, I'm pushing my computer too far with that. Handling a project of this size, oh, totally fine. Switching a tab in Windows, hell no. Who's there? Are you a debt, bruh? Should I have the voice actor redo this and make him say bruh instead? I think that's more in line with Disney Boba.
Mandalore.
4 NTA, Ford.
Does that look like it's... Why is that so low? I've never had it that low. Why is it like bleeding into the letterbox there? The heck? What is going on? Is that... That's odd. Okay. Alright. And then... Go... Quote, "We shall bear this weight together." Every time, this is a thing I've been doing in my series, like when they use these Mandalorian phrases or things from their recitation, their liturgy, so to speak, I've been putting in quotes, so this is just in line where I think by this point, when you see something that's like this, you know, okay, this is like an ancient Mandalorian saying, essentially. So I think that works really well here now. I did this multiple times in the last film. In spots where it was very obvious they were reciting something from Mandalorian history. And the people who are Mando nerds will just pick up on this naturally because they know the lyrics of Vodayan. I love Grievous's theme, both the micro series and the ROS versions. Yeah, shout out micro series Grievous, for sure. Grievous is the biggest element that actually ties the movie into Clone Wars. Yeah. The only thing you missed was Grievous' death when you got up to piss. That is an uncivilized thing to do in the middle of a movie. Obi-Wan is disappointed in you. I had another thought. Okay, random stuff. But two things, like when I was walking out of the theater, things I was like, man, if Disney wanted to expand on this era, and tell me if I'm missing something in this, if it's in a material that I'm not recalling right now. I know the micro series, it did like the capture of Palpatine, but I am interested in a story that almost like from Palpatine's perspective or somebody who is seeing the effects of what Palpatine is doing there, maybe even Dooku's perspective. I want to see a story told from how did Palpatine organize like both sides to make that kidnapping happen. All of the logistics and politics that must have gone into that, I think that's a super interesting story to tell. If they haven't told that anywhere else, almost even like man, I'd get Lucino back to write that. He knows Palpatine very, very well. I think he could do an awesome book about that, or somebody could. That would be really interesting. Just a man, the logistics that went into making the Battle of Coruscant happen. Man, Palpatine came out. First off, in the theater, man, Palpatine gets off. Like, I mean, he is having the time of his life. He's like moaning in pleasure multiple times, just finally being able to just unleash everything that's been hidden inside him for so long. What an incredible performance by McDermott. Yeah, there's parts where he seems like over the top a little bit, or even almost like goofy, but it didn't come off to me as like corny or bad. It came off like this dude is like legitimately deranged. I mean, like he is legitimately getting off to what he's doing right now. He's doing those faces when he fights, like he's just having the time of his life, which is awesome. I mean, he's spent in how many years? 50 years at this point, more, building towards this moment. I really enjoyed that. I did. Also, I got really upset when Obi-Wan looks at the security recording and he listens to the recording, Lord Vader rise, and then Yoda says, he's talking to Obi-Wan, and Yoda tells him, like, Anakin is gone, consumed by Darth Vader. He has been. Got really upset about that after watching the Kenobi show, because they make Reva the one to tell Obi-Wan basically that, Anakin is Vader. And the people, the storyboard at one point in an interview had said that this is such an interesting moment because Obi-Wan did not know that Anakin was Darth Vader. And then once they realized that person then had to backtrack it, and then there was like multiple people on the storyboard, because they were oh man, this gets me upset. There were people bragging that they had never seen the movies before. And that gets me real upset when you think it's like a bragging point that you haven't seen the Star Wars movies and you're writing a Star Wars story because you're so talented at storytelling and Hollywood stuff. You don't even need the movies to tell a good Star Wars story. Ooh, that gets under my skin bad. Real bad. And I understand in Disney's canon they're not tied to the Kenobi novel, the Rise of Darth Vader novel, where we see a lot of where Obi-Wan does process hearing that Vader is alive. Because, yes, Obi-Wan knew Anakin was Darth Vader. He just thought Darth Vader died on Mustafar, and he finds out, 3 months afterwards, because Vader goes on a giant galactic campaign. I believe it's Vader's campaign against Kashyyyk. And Obi-Wan sees it on the news when he's at like a cantina and he has this panic attack. The Kenobi show just they totally forgot that Obi-Wan already knew this. So then they tried to backtrack, and one person was saying like, Obi-Wan was processing a lot. He kind of forgot about the name Vader. Yeah, give me a break. And then there was another excuse. They said, oh yeah, he did know he was Vader, but he never heard about Vader after that because he was a hermit. And I don't find that to be believable whatsoever. Like, Obi-Wan, he was still paying attention to what happened in the galaxy. He would walk through Tatooine and pick up little things so he could protect Luke. He wanted to know what was... No, he wasn't plugged in like he was before, but he kept his ear to the ground. He wasn't just like purely a hermit that lived in a cave and did nothing. Like, even in Disney's comics and books. Yeah, they're not tied to the John Jackson Miller book, but I think it's just absolutely ridiculous to say that he had never, in the 10 years between 3 and the show, was it 10 or 5? I think it was 10 years, right? It's supposed to be 10 years after? Or is it 5? Whatever. In that window, he never, ever once heard the name Vader, never saw an Imperial broadcast with Vader. Rubbed me the wrong way. controversial, but I like the Obi-Wan show. I like movie edits even more. I don't like the novel reveal because the idea of Vader being a public face I'm not a fan of. I don't think the Empire would have had him in their propaganda. He'd be known and feared. I'm tied to the EU first and foremost, where he was a very big propaganda piece. The Empire showed him off. Vader didn't like want to be that. He wasn't like giving speeches and stuff, but he was known as like this imperial enforcer. Hey, you need peace and order on your planet. Vader will deliver it. They used him in recruiting. He was spoken of in public broadcasts. And even Disney hasn't been consistent with that. Like they have Darth Vader. They do this like big press conference like right after Episode 3 on the steps of the Jedi Temple where they're like burning all the lightsabers and stuff. And Vader's like, there's news droids all around, and Vader's like standing there next to the Emperor. So even in Disney's own stories, Vader was in the news. You knew who Vader was. Yeah, there was like rumors of the shadowy figure, and not every single stormtrooper and everything like knew who he was or had served, a small portion even ever saw him. But everyone whispered about him. Everybody knew about the Emperor's enforcer, Vader. They didn't understand Sith lore or Sith lineage or anything, but they knew there's a dude named Vader. When he shows up, he means business. Like, systems feared the name Vader. So it's just beyond improbable that news never reached Obi-Wan's ears for 10 years. But if you go only by the movies and you don't like consider the EU, I can definitely see that point. Like if you just go straight from movies to the Kenobi show, you could definitely like headcanon Vader's like this secret operative that the galaxy doesn't really know about. But when you read the material, and even I'm saying again, even the Disney material, it's just not possible. The writers of Kenobi were bragging that they hadn't even seen Episode 3. So you think they were paying attention to the Disney comics and books or the EU or anything? No. So yeah, I got you, and a lot of people agree with you. I'd never been huge into the EU, just more strictly into the George Lucas movies. So I try to mold. Yeah, no, it's fair perspective too. To me, growing up, the EU was as much Star Wars as the movies were. As a kid, I didn't even understand the difference of canon. I got a Star Wars book from the library. It tied into plot points from the movies. It was the gospel to me. It was Star Wars. So everything I know flows from that, and I think the EU does a wonderful job of expanding on George. I think there are very, very few moments in the EU that are like outright disrespectful to George. They had a very strict review process, and that's not to say that like George wrote everything. He did write some stuff for the EU. He wrote like the preface to, was it Shatterpoint? He was involved in it. He was also especially involved in the novelizations of the movies. Sorry. Yeah. Like the Matthew Stover Episode 3. He spent like 5 days straight with Matthew Stover going over stuff. So George had his nose to the ground. He was involved in the Plagueis novel pretty heavily. He like picked the species for Plagueis and everything. So no, there's a million things that George didn't care about and didn't consider like his Star Wars, but he was actively interested in shaping some of the direction, and he gave them very strict rules like, hey, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. This piece is mine. I want to do something with that later. He was even saving some stuff for his sequel trilogy script, so he was like, don't write anything about this. And he had a hard rule about no background info on Yoda's species. Do not expand upon that in the EU. So, anyhow, did I finish this segment?
Mandalore.
For NTA, Ford.
Jorsoran Kandoatome. Good luck with the huts.
I think I need those to go on a little longer. How fast is he saying that? Man, I still feel like he's talking fast.
Sentier, Ford.
Jorsoran Kando Atome. Good luck with the huts.
And pretty much, I think I can leave it there till the scene switch, because that is a little bit fast to read. There we go, good. And then, okay, I need the... I really like the beginning of this delivery, so I might just change the planet word.
And check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Ossus.
I at least like the and. I can go check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Yavin.
Check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Ossus.
There we go, alright. Let's try this.
Check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Yavin.
Try again.
Check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Yavin.
That might do. Let's get a few more takes in there.
Check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Yavin.
That, I think, sounded like Din a lot. That was a Pedro Pascal delivery. That was good. Man, Pedro Pascal was in everything right now. It's like he was in the Mando and Grogu trailer. He's in the Fantastic Four trailer. He's like actively in The Last of Us every week. He is dominating. Do I still have the same effects on this one? Yeah, in a small room. All right. In a small... It's a small room after all. Send it.
And check again for a ping from Skywalker's Academy on Yavin.
Nice. Heck yeah. I'm happy with that. All that. I'm happy, guys. This is the first time in my life that I'm like rolling with book 6 and feel really good about everything. So much of it beforehand. I mean, of course, you've seen how much work I already did getting it to this point. Look at that timeline. But so much of that was ideas. The Boba Fett integration is probably the most intimidating thing to me right now. I'm a little worried. I'm worried about... I'm not saying worry like I can't pull it off. Just like... As before, I was like almost dreading trying to have to redo all the Tatooine stuff in this section. I did it. Took me a couple weeks. I did it. So like biggest things to tackle, integrating the 4 Boba Fett scenes. No clue where I'm going to freaking place those. And then I've been dreading trying to just do the Battle of Mandalore at the end. Oh, I went through that in a different stream with all the problems there. That's going to be a beast. I'm not dreading that one as much because a lot of the material I haven't even like worked through in depth. So at least it's something fresh. There's something to look forward to. I got to spend so much time with my Grogu reunion scene as well. There's a lot of work left to do here. This is just the very first initial draft, getting like the main shots I want, but as you can see, like why is that so cropped? Yeah, I need to redo a lot of this. That one I think looks pretty good already. Some of them, like, yeah, this one I need to redo. Because some of them are clips where he's actually here on the planet, and then other ones is like the rotoscope. So you can see, like, I gotta get, like, the reflections. See how it's not, like, super obvious, but there's, like, a tree. I need at least different shades of green on his armor in certain spots. So this is going to take me like a whole week to do that. What my initial idea was to find other clips of Din on here, on this planet, just from his other scenes where there is like reflection, and kind of just like find the parts of his armor and just like crop it out, and then see if I could even just overlay it on top of here. I don't know. I've got a bunch of different things. I haven't color graded this at all. You can see Grogu's really flat there too. So I got to go back in Roto, take that into After Effects. She's going to be gone. I'm going to remove her. Yeah. So that's off to the side right now because there's a crap ton of work to do on there. I know Wookiees, Rebels, and More was making a new reunion scene as well. I need to message him and ask what he had already done on that. See what ideas he had. Alright, let's do it. I've never really showed off this section before in full. So I gotta watch this to review my Bo-Katan stuff, and I'm gonna have to do a bunch of Mandalore. I am, Shoya. It's your time to shine. Since I'm watching this in length, I'm gonna have to like turn the sound off here and there, just so I don't get my whole stream copyrighted. I've figured out like the right balance to do. When I was first streaming my edits, like every other one, they'd make me delete like 20 minutes out of it. But I haven't had that happen in a while. Probably since like the last month. It'll still get usually like one copyright notice, and oh, okay, you're sharing ad revenue with whatever, Lucasfilm, Warner. I don't care. I don't run ads on these anyways. But some of them, it was like, trim out 20 minutes of your stream. But I think I found a good balance of how to not make that happen and how to keep them appeased. How many streams have I done? 5, 9, 13, 17? This is number 17. In like 6 weeks. It's pretty good. Pretty good work. Wookiees was doing some CGI Boba Fett scenes. IIRC. Really? Can't remember. I know he did like a throne scene. He's a really nice dude. Like, he actively has a folder on his Discord of just like everything. He's got a Google Drive. Like he just immediately shares everything he's done. Yeah, here's the throne scene he was doing. I looked at this. I didn't have a need for it. I can't remember where he was using that, but I didn't really need it, so I didn't do it. I am using this one he made. This was incredible. This is just nuts what he did on this one. He partnered up with somebody on this shot too, like a professional VFX artist. Look at this! They made this from nothing. That whole Venator thing? I think that's a really cool thing to see, so I'm going to include that. He's doing really cool stuff in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Feel free to browse. Biomes. I really wanted them to do... I needed a Biomes of Navarro. Man, I need, like... There's been multiple times where I was like, if only I had Navarro like this. These are awesome. These clips are, like, really helpful to use. You got Tatooine, Hoth, Sorgan, Crate, Mustafar. Misk. Wanted sign. Oh yeah, these are cool. He was putting this as like posters in... I forget where he was putting them. These are awesome though. It was stuff like on Coruscant in the Rise of the Empire era. Oh, I guess it would be after the Rise of the Empire era. He had like floating, yeah. These are so cool. Love this idea. I adore Saga era. I don't know who that is. Bar Lasterson? What is he from? Is that just like a original? I don't see that. Okay. Maybe he just made somebody up. It was just like a typical bounty, maybe. Yeah, maybe just like his own characters or something. I wanted to show you this actually. I think I might just ditch my whole reunion scene and just put this in there instead. Let me show it to you.
Bitches come and go, bro, but you know I stay.
Like that would work really well for the story, I think. Like having Kermit there, that does a lot for Grogu's character. Like, yeah, I'm leaving Kermit for Din. That's sick. I'd probably leave the soundtrack the same too. It's time for Star Wars to evolve.
Bitches come and go, bro.
Alright. Let's get it, Bo-Katan. What you got? Let's see her rise to Mandalore. To Solus.
We'll continue on foot from here. Any closer and it will hear the ship.
I think that's fine for basic. I really like this soundtrack here, actually. It's nice.
The target is on the top of this peak. If we tuck in under this outcropping, we sleep out of line of sight and climb it first light.
We will make camp.
This kind of talk, Shoya, of just this like basic logistical stuff. Is that, you think that's good in basic, or should that be in Mando? Like when they're in like a combat type of scenario, what do you think? Like this whole sequence is one where they can go back and forth, I think, on some stuff. Like I think their campfire talk at night should probably be in Mandoa, but what, just these like small dialogues, what do you think? What would be in character for these characters and how I've framed them? I think this is a cool segment for first time viewers too, because they don't really, I haven't given them context yet. They're like, what's going on? And you like pick it up as you go along. They're like, oh wait, this is like a hunt. I don't just lay it out there with exposition. Which I love when films do that. When they let the viewer like learn as stuff goes along. Show don't tell. You know, that old rule that seems to have faded away for some reason. There's room right here. There's room for me to make new voices. I think it's a little bit silent. I can write like a whole new script for this section. Just have the Mandalorians be like, just a sentence or two talking to each other. Like they're obviously in conversation, but it's using a whisper, just background effect. Well, why not deliver something valuable here? At least something that, like a little world building. It's a perfect moment for world building. It's probably fine in basic. You could translate those lines if you needed, though. Yeah. Trying to think. I don't really like her delivery there, actually. Yeah, let's try Mando off for this. Because I kind of want to change a little bit what she says. Yeah, I might rewrite that. Add some exposition here. Goob is been helping me write some of the dialogue, so I might submit this to him and then message you later, Shoya. I definitely want we'll make camp, but you can translate we'll make camp. I'm probably gonna keep that. I'm gonna go with Shoya. I'm gonna message Goob later and see what he can do. Mandalore is said to be good for combat and hunting talk, though. It has a lot... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is like a very natural... I mean, this is like what the language was formed around. Like the purpose was to communicate hunting ideas, essentially. War ideas, battle ideas. So all of this, yeah, would be pretty good for it. Any ideas what would these Mandalorians be talking about tonight? That's a very broad question, I know, but anybody have ideas? Like a good world-building piece for this? Talking about the state of the galaxy, Mandalorian culture, you know, just, you know, kidding with each other. Any little, you know, chemistry bonding instead of just pure silence for all this. Then they all go off and go to eat on their own so they can take their helmets off. Yeah, that should be in Mandalore too. Ooh, a campfire story. I like. Yeah. They're definitely chilling. Yeah, they shouldn't be like. Yeah, like telling battle stories to each other would be pretty cool. I think that could work there. Just have like a little two-person dialogue of a brief battle story and a comment back to him. I mean, this is just gonna be like a sentence or two. That seems in character. Canderous. That man loves to tell stories. Mandalorians tell stories about their battles. I like that idea. Alric, what's up? How about talking about the old Mandalorian Civil War? The one in which Mando fought under Jester. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that would be a cool, like... How many years has it been since that, though? You might have to be... One of them might have to be telling a story about, like, their father fighting in that, or their grandfather. Mandalorian. I mean, what? That's gonna be like 30 years. Shoot, longer than that. So it lasted like 10 years. So and then my series is set in 15 ABY. So shoot, we're like 40 to 50 years later. So yeah, it could be like grandfather, grandfather telling a story about it. Because yeah, Death Watch was involved. This is the one you're talking about, right? Or what? Hold on, let me look at this page. Is this? This might be referring to something else. Oh yeah, no. That's not what I want. What? Oh, I'm on the Great Clan Wars. I went to Mandalorian Civil War. Oh boy, okay, 60 BBY. Okay, definitely a grandpa. Okay, yeah, this one ended right when the other ones were starting with the Death Watch stuff and evolving from there. So this is like the transitionary battle, I think, if I remember correctly, between like the conflicts. Good old Jaster. What a great 52 BBY. I did throw in a Mariel clan name Easter egg in the last film. I might want to reread these comics, so I might be able to refer to something specific here. Very good idea. Yeah, there might be more moments to throw something like that into, because we have like multiple Mandalorian night camp scenes. Not just this one, but also like before they're going to Mandalore, where they're just kind of hanging out and stuff. So good ideas for world building. Thank you. Yeah, joking. Yeah, joking would be cool too. Lots. Yeah, that would work. Oh, okay. They are the children of Death Watch, so they wouldn't necessarily be fond of Jaster. Oh yeah. I was thinking more just like telling a story about one of their family members who fought in it or something, and then yeah, no fondness towards him specifically or anything. Just mention the battle. When was this one? This is from Open Seasons, right? Yeah. That's what I wanted. 52 BBY, yeah. Like, even if you just, like, name drop, like... Yeah, I told you my grandfather fought in the Battle of Corta 6. Something like that is what I'm thinking for this moment. Yeah. That could work. Tor Vizsla reference would work here too, maybe. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Punklahoma was thinking more like a lighthearted thing. Since Deathwatch fought against Jaster, maybe Paz could tell about his grandfather / uncle Torviz. Oh, heck yeah. All right. That's where I'm on right now. Maybe when Jango defeated lots of Jedi barehanded. If not, you could mention the Tongs. I do have a mention of the Tongs in the previous film, so I have hit that note. How they misriding their basilisks. That would be a good one too. Man, I wish I had a basilisk right now. I think I'm leaning towards what Shoya said there for this. I think I want to reference the Battle of Corta 6. Paz could tell about. I don't think I'll have it be Paz. though, you know, usually it was like the more experienced Mandalorians are the ones telling about their history. The recruits, you know, are learning. The newer guys listen to the older guys, which Paz fits. Y'all are way deeper in the Mando stuff than me. Actually, I really dug Book 5 because other than KOTOR, you never knew much about the Mandalorians. Oh, that's really cool that you're learning a little bit of Mandalorian lore from my film edits and what we're putting in there. I love that. Mando stuff is some of my favorite in all of Star Wars, so he's one of my most... I'm more knowledgeable about the Old Republic Mandalorian stuff than this era of the Mandalorians. But I mean, I have the Open Seasons comic in the other room. It's good stuff. Okay, I'll brainstorm this because I want Goob to kind of help me write through some of this as well. Great ideas. Thank you, everybody. I think that's a good plan. Could you translate this one for me, Shoya? You are the leader of the war party. You have the honor of staying by the fire. I'm probably going to delete his "this is the way." That's an odd place. They use that phrase a bit too much, I think, in Season 3. But I think that's a good thing. I think that works story-wise because this is such a different culture than what Bo-Katan is used to. You know, this isn't the culture she's been involved in for the last, 10, 20 plus years. And even before that, she was, you know, I guess she was kind of connected to them, but, I mean, like, familiar with them, I mean. Yeah, but just saying she wouldn't be, like, super knowledgeable about this tradition. So I like that moment for him to say that to her here. And it shows that she's in charge, which is a big plot point from my last book. I want to hear some Mando. Let me put that previous line in. Let me camp here. I like my Paz model too. Paz. He's kind of like rallying the troops here. I want a little more emotion, I think. That one's good. Probably just a teeny tiny bit of echo because just the smallest bit of reverb in there. Oh, he's screaming at me. Nice. That'll do. Good. Then I'll put my flavor text in there. Good. Takes your helmet off. Looks around. Starts eating. Though she is allowed to show her face to other people. So I think that's fine here too anyways. because like I don't know, this got me weird the first time around. Like she's sitting at a fire where people weren't that far away, or they all just supposed to be super careful, don't look near the fire because she's lit up and you could see her face. Because I think, does this episode happen before? I think that happens before the armorer conversation in the Disney order. Got a translation. Got tired of typing on YouTube. Is it more exhausting to type on YouTube than Discord? You are the leader of the war party. Bo-Katan. Typoing. Oh yeah, because you can't edit. Yeah. Got a guy. You have the honor to sit by the fire. Cool. Let's do it. Let's get him in there. Throw this tab up here. It says you are the lead. You have the honor to sit by the fire. Is this one? How's that word pronounced? Is it Tracine? Yeah, Trasheen. He said Tracin. I've discovered 11 Labs seems to do better with the apostrophe than the dash for some stuff. Gargana Ijat Sheber Juan Trashin. He needs to say this kind of... He should say this like pretty chill. Oh, why are you going so fast, buddy? Still a little too fast. It's a chill statement. That one works. I like that. You are the leader of the war party. He should say like kind of affirmatively. Definitive. There's no way he said that right. It should be Bo-Katan Sad. Right, it should be Bo-Katan, not Bo. Or do you put the B like Bakan, or is it Bo-Katan? Because this is like a combined word. I'm not gonna find that in here, am I? This is like multiple words combined into one concept. Yeah. Yeah, Tsad is what, like group, organization. What does the ba mean? What is the B? What is that for? Son of a gun! Thank you. Muted. Yep, I see that now. Okay, catch up on chat here a little bit. Okay, yeah, you got this in there. How old is Bo-Katan? I've seen people saying she is supposed to be like 65 or something crazy. In my head canon, she's like 20 years old at most in TCW, so she's only like 50 here. I looked this up on one of my other streams. I can't remember the answer though. I think she looks younger than she actually is in the show. Right? Is that what I came up to? Yeah, she should be in like her mid-50s or late 50s. Yeah, she should be at least 50 in this, and I looked up her actress and she was like 40 when she was doing this. So yeah, she does look a little too young. I think she was she 18 in the Clone Wars? If I'm remembering that right. All my respect to Shoya, honest. Oh yeah, definitely. Shoya's a beast. He's carrying this series for me. Cool. You drunk? Friday night drank night. Ayo, still editing? Yes, sir, Prism. How's it going? What have you been doing? I think I should start watching the 20 fan edits on my watch list. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Just been editing Act 2 of this movie. Went and saw Revenge of the Sith earlier. It's good times. Oh, we got a couple redacted from Orek. I gotta look what that means. Cool. Is that good? Cheers, hanging there, come back. Yeah, okay. Yes, sir. Gonna have to start watching Journal of the Wills. Have a good night. Oh, cool, man. That's a good one to start with. Enjoy. Yes, audio I've unmuted. I apologize. I can't comment on its pronunciation because I can't hear it. Bo-Katan is fine. Okay. For B is short for B. B is short for B means of. The in B is represented by the dropped E from B, which is replaced by the A in a con before consonants. It's B before vowels. It's B. Oh, interesting. I thought you were drunk. How do you type all that out coherently if you're drunk? Drunk Shoya knows grammar better than sober Shoya? Is that what I'm hearing?
Gara Lor Bakan said. Gara Lor Bakan said. Gara Lor Bakan said. Gara Lor Bakan said.
That one sounds good.
You are the leader of the party. You are the unbeliever.
This is the way. Probably going to edit for about 15 more minutes and call it a night. I'm going later than normal. It's a Friday night, though. Why not?
Gargana ija. Gara Lor Bakan said. Gargana ijat sheber juan trashin.
A little closer to match the hand movement.
Gara Lor Bakan said. Gargana ijat sheber juan trashin.
Good. I gotta get the fire noise. I will replug that in later. That's odd. They don't have like. Did they even have it? There. Okay, it's there.
Gara Lor Bakan said.
Yeah, that's.
Gargana ijat sheber juan trashin.
Yeah, okay. I need to put in a crackling fire sound for all this. I'll get that underlaid over everything so it doesn't have those drop-offs. Nice, I like it.
The Raptor's lair is atop the highest peak. Our best bet is stealth. Our jetpacks will alert it to our presence. Let's move.
Yeah, I'll probably redo some of that too in Mandalore. I think so. The way she was written in season 3, she is always just saying the most basic stuff. If you remember how I had to change the conversation before the battle on Navarro, where she's like, "This is a Comric-class Mandalorian fighter. We will get inside, and we will drop down." They wrote her just to deliver the most basic exposition, no characterization. She treats everyone around her like they're all like children. I'm trying to mature her with this, so I probably will. Shoya, I'll send you a list of things to translate sometime tomorrow. I think that sounds good. Neither of us know grammar, but sober Shoya types better. Not good, but better. Another weird age thing, expanded books or whatever, decided to make Qui-Gon and Mace Windu like 10 to 15 years apart in age, despite the actors being very close in age. I think that's a mistake. I went to see a story of young Qui-Gon and Mace, maybe even working together. Qui-Gon cool and collected, but rebellious Mace following the rules. But with all that rage, they'd make a great duo anyway. Yeah, there's definitely potential for that. I don't think they had a ton of like Mace and Qui-Gon specifically. I'm trying to remember if they like had any main action pieces together or like whole stories together. I know, I mean, they never liked each other. I think I remember something in the Phantom Menace novel where they like comment on their relationship, I believe, and it's never been good. But I'm not recalling any specific stories of them together. Just that they never saw eye to eye. They weren't like as antagonistic as Mace and Anakin, but you know, they're very different personalities with different philosophies of things, so they believe they did have some contention, which you kind of saw culminate in the Phantom Menace with their disagreement about Anakin, and Mace Windu's a little standoffish about him. Mace Windu's a real ass. Like he is he's such a cool character, but that dude is a stickler. In my Arma unit, we call dropping from a comrade at high speed a Navarro maneuver. That's cool. Do you have like actual? Do you do like role play with your characters in the Arma thing, or is it more just like casual gameplay? I loved, speaking of role play, if you guys are like really into roleplay, this game is so cool. This has been going since 1998. It isn't like an online text pixel based MMORPG that's in real time. I haven't played in forever. This is just like an inactive. I'm blocking that with my chat screen. This was my character. This is a really cool game, though. It's so deep on what you can do, and so it's just like this, but a lot of it happens in role play scenarios with other people. So I believe these would be the other people. This game is so deep. Like look at the rules. I mean, a lot. Don't get overwhelmed because a lot of this is like, I mean, it's just lists the stats of everything in the game. But it's like a Star Wars RPG that does a lot of the RPG stuff for you, just automated. But they have so much in this game. I mean, like even from like the most obscure EU stuff like that. This game is awesome, and there are like NPCs and stuff that go around. It's a very economy-based game. Where's the faction list? There's so many factions. So like you pick a faction to join, and that's like a bunch of other. Look how many things there are. Is that over for you? Like these are real people who've made all these things, and they have like their own rank structure. So like you can make a character. Hey, I want to be like a Quat Drive Yards Pick your species. No, I want to be a Nemoidian and just make a Quat Drive Yards empire. I want to be in charge of like ore mining and shipping. You can do that entire thing with like actual mechanics that will like actually send credits to your faction. Do Chiss. I believe they have it set. It's set in like more. I mean, it's a non-canon thing. It like devolves after the Battle of Yavin, I think, or after Return of the Jedi into like its own timeline. But it's been real time since 1998, so they're in like 26 ABY now. It's really cool. If you like that kind of stuff, more slow paced things, and like if you make an alien, they won't let you join the Empire. Like they keep to the rules. Humans only. I tried once. Like, nope, get out of here. Go join one of our like mining groups. So Shoya, for you, like there's you could make a Mandalorian character, and they get like really into it. It's really cool. You would thrive here. Join us on the path to Darasum Kote. Cool stuff. There's a couple different Mandalorian factions. You get like the old school or like the new age Mandalorians. So you'd probably fit in the Mandoade. And then when you create your character, you have like a very small percent. It's like a 1% chance. I believe each species has its own force sensitive chance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so when you create your character, you have a small percentage that your guy will be force sensitive, and you can't just re-roll. You will get banned immediately if you do that. This is like a permadeath game, and it's pretty hard to die. But like it has like a knocked unconscious feature. The only way to actually die is to get like captured by somebody and they execute you. Which the galaxy is just absolutely massive, so you run into mostly NPCs, but like they've got the full freaking galaxy in here. Like, look how many planets they've programmed. You go into any system, here's all the real systems. This area is controlled by the Black Sun. Here's your NPC population, all the stations they've built. And go into a system. Oh, here's what the system looks like. Look, they've got all their shipyards, so this is where the Black Sun is building their most of their fleet, it looks like. You want to go into a planet? What does this planet do? Got a whole planet map on there. There's all the cities they've built. And it's a real-time game. So, like, if you want to fly across the galaxy, it will take a week of real life to do that. Everything about it is real-time. You want to fly from the system down into the orbit of planet, it's going to take you an hour of real-time. So it is kind of a thing where you would log in a couple times a day or whatever, and each faction has their own website where and usually sometimes like Discord channels and stuff that you join in, and a lot of cool role playing here. They've got where is it? Somewhere on here they have like a whole role play thing too, where you can. Where is that? Anyways, if you like that stuff, SW Combine, Star Wars Combine. Yeah, it's both probably 50-50 role-playing military action. Cool. Sometimes more or less, depending on the mission. Yeah, that sounds fun. I might download that sometime. I would like that game. I think Lucas did a great job of setting up that previous generation of characters, just like he set up Anakin and Obi-Wan and OT. Yeah, for sure. Lots of potential. My favorite Qui-Gon Jinn stories are actually from the Jedi Apprentice series. That was one of my favorite just parts of Star Wars EU in general. So if you want good Qui-Gon Jinn background, these are very, very easy reads. and you get a lot of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon development there, and kind of how the relationships, 18-book series, but they're all, there's 192, like they're like the young adult novels. Jude Watson's an awesome author. Yeah, Xanatos, one of my favorite characters. So, good series, highly recommend. And it expands, it goes to like, from Jedi Apprentice to, what's the next one called? Jedi, it's the one where it like focuses on Anakin on the next one after these 18. Kind of leads you like getting closer to episode 1, and then, yeah. I remember Combine, never got into it. Yeah, it's a slow-paced thing for sure. I haven't played it in probably 10 years. That character's still sitting on that planet. I think that was... what happened to my other character? I think that was my second character, because my first one, I made a human and joined the New Republic, and I was in the New Republic army. It was really fun. They had me doing like all these scouting missions. I was flying around. I know at one point I was helping, like, I was like logistics of the army, so I was like organizing some of the, like, they'll give you a ship and all, and it's really cool. But yeah, I can't remember why I stopped playing for a time, and I came back and my character had been captured, and then I got executed by somebody. That depressed me. Then I made that other character and didn't really play much. I ran a secret cult on a server for the game Mordhau's biggest RP server. My character ran the most popular bar that the whole server loved. Didn't know I was the biggest villain on the whole server. That's cool. You should definitely make a video of that story. That's awesome. What's going on, Dark Jedi? Yep, thank you. Jedi Quest, that's exactly it. And Last of the Jedi. Yep, I read all 3 of those. Good old Ferris Olin. Alright, okay. What am I doing? I gotta wrap this up tonight, my friends. It's been real. Yeah, so I'll send Shoya some stuff to translate. I will send Goob some stuff to write here. And then I'll probably stream again tomorrow if I'm not busy in the evening. I want to work through this section and review this whole raptor hunt. So let me do a few things on my own. Get some help from the community on the writing. We'll be good to go. And then we go from Din Landing to some Grogu training. Then back here, where he reports back on his mission with Boba. And then we transition to setting up the Plaisir plotline, which will lead to, of course, Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. And this is the stuff where I need to start to intercut Boba's story through this. Because the last time we will have seen him will be... That's odd. Where did my timestamps go? There we go. Because we haven't... Yeah, so about hour 15 is when we last saw Boba. So then, yeah, by 20 minutes goes by, that seems like a good place to cut back to him. Probably here, I would think. I kind of like that, though. We'll get to it later. We'll brainstorm. We'll figure it out, no doubt. Cool. Thanks, everybody. I can't believe this many people jumped in to watch it. Well, where I am, it is past 1 a.m. I got kids who are going to wake me up in about 6 hours, so that's going to be a wrap for me. thank you so much. This was fun to do. I was feeling passionate about Star Wars after watching Revenge of the Sith, and had to get some of the creative juices out with the passion. What is this? Who's in the water right now? I haven't done any like combat edits. I know there's some really bad, weird stuff where they like jump into his mouth and all. So I need to touch up the alligator scene. We are making progress though. We are like at the hour 20-minute mark. This movie's going to be about 3 hours. So, yeah. Thank you, Punklahoma. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'll reach out about that Arma stuff at some point, Shoya. I might want to get in on some of that. Nice. Dark Jedi saw last night. Revenge of the Sith. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I will go to sleep happy tonight because I watched that movie. Great experience. I splurged and I bought the collectibles too. I got the... there was like a... It wasn't like the Darth Vader drink helmet. It was this one. I guess it's like the popcorn bucket. Holy cow, these things are already selling for $100 on eBay. I got this. It's actually like, it was very good quality. I was pretty surprised by it. So I'm gonna take this to work and set it on. I got a shelf with some stuff up there that I've been. Yeah. So yeah, I splurged. I bought the cup and the Vader helmet. I did not pay $120 for it though. My goodness. But. Got none there in Australia? Dang. Wait, none of the collectibles, you mean? Oh, that stinks. That's unfortunate. When I got this, so they give you, when you buy the combo, they give you a large popcorn and a drink. And there was like a giant line at the concession. I didn't know that. I thought you just like got the cup and the helmet just to have. And so I went after the movie and I was like, yeah, I'll take the 2 Star Wars collectible things. And he comes back and gives me just this giant bucket of popcorn. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to bring that home. So then I take it home. And I'm trying to put that clear plastic wrap over top my popcorn bucket. You know those the clear plastic wrap that you pull out. It's kind of like the aluminum foil thing. And the doofus I am, I reached right into the drawer and tried to pull out the clear plastic wrap thing. Just ran my finger my middle finger right across the serrated edge. Just sliced me right open. It felt like the worst paper cut of my life, right on the pad of my middle finger, just side to side, sliced through the whole thing. So I got that all wrapped up right now. So that was a bummer. after that great movie, come home and just wreck my finger. So I've been editing tonight with my pointer and my ring finger on my hand. I haven't been right clicking with my middle finger. Isn't that a sad story? Anyways, thanks everybody. Popcorn bucket only had Snow White that no one's buying. At the one I was at, they had the Revenge of the Sith, and then they had this collectible thing for The Accountant too. I didn't think that was something that was like worthy of a giant collectible thing. I've never even seen the first one of this. I didn't even know this one was in theaters. The second one. So it was odd. They had like this giant collectible for this thing too, like right next to all the Revenge of the Sith stuff. I am so happy Revenge of the Sith is just crushing it in the box office right now. When I checked this morning, it had already done 158 million. My theater was like packed, and it's been running for like a week already. And my theater was like probably 75-80% full. And I went to a big theater in the downtown area, and it was cool. it was nice. I've heard some people say, like, they didn't want to go because people would be, like, yelling out the meme lines and ruining their experience. My theater was, like, dead silent. Everybody was, like, invested and clapped at the end. It was just dead silent. We were all engrossed. It's cool. Drag your family there. Nice. Yeah, I went with my cousin. He's a big Star Wars fan, though. Me and him grew up playing all the games and stuff together. All right, it is bedtime for me. My sleep is waning. Thanks, everybody. I'll probably stream again tomorrow if you're around. Don't have anything going on tomorrow night. Want to hang out again? I'll be around.